Yep, you read the title right, and there's no mistake in that. If you want the short answer and don't feel like watching all the video, she's a Shin Megami Tensei character. Okay, I already know right off the bat, a lot of you are gonna be these Kratos fanboys who only play God of War and nothing else, and you're probably thinking Kratos bad, he smashed, Kratos rip everything in half. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't always work. It just doesn't. Like, it's funny to me, especially when I break down why she can one shot him. It's funny to me when people say things along the lines of, what if Kratos hits her? What if Kratos grabs her? Then the question becomes, what if he can't? Because I think people have to realize that Kratos' main strength in his games is just that, brute strength. And if you can render his brute strength useless, it's not much he can do to you. Not much else. So we're going to even use stats within the game to prove that she can one-shot him. Because in the most recent God of War game, towards the end game, when you get max stats and the best weapons, your HP is somewhere in like the 300s, like 301, 302, 318, somewhere in the 300s. Midori, Midori Komaki, Magical Dolly as they call her, mid game, at any point in the middle of the game, you can have upwards to 700, 800, 900 HP. So she already beats him in defense. Her attacks. Again, mid game, she can deal out upwards to like 1,059 damage to everybody, and that's mid game. Now, in game, when you deck her out with everything like I did, she's throwing out upwards of like 4,597, close to 5,000 attack power. Now, Kratos only has 318 he can take. And I know you got to factor in defense and everything for resistance, but again, the same thing with his stats. His defense does not come in at a high enough number to break 5,000 plus damage down to where it can be less than 300. It just doesn't. So if he gets hit by her at any point by Megiddo, which is the move that does all that damage, he's one shot. And I know, you guys need more proof. You're like, okay, well, Kratos is still stronger and faster and more brutal. Nope, nope, and nope. He's not stronger. He's not faster. And okay, maybe he's more brutal, as far as like aggressiveness goes, but her attacks are more brutal than his and her abilities. See, because again, this goes back to kind of how things went with the Yuki Nagato versus Goku video. That one. This is one of those things where the person with the better abilities wins, not the person who's more just base strength more strong. Because if you were to give Kratos all the abilities that he's ever had in every game, just try to make it fair. Give him all the abilities he ever had in every game, and you give Magical Dolly just some of her abilities, she still would beat him. But if you give both of them every ability they ever had, it really gets broken because it gets to the point where she can have mute to just straight mute out all of his abilities, silence the mute out of his elemental damage that he could possibly do. And then on top of that, even if he does grab her, she can have no physical or reflect physical or absorb physical, so no physical damage can hurt her. She can have any one of those three. As for elemental attacks, she can have no most, which is all the elemental attacks, absorb most, or reflect most, which stops every elemental attack. So she can have those to stop that. As far as her speed goes, she can literally outspeed because you fight all kind of things. There's like one of them is a time guide. You can outspeed him. So if you can outspeed time itself, she's probably too fast for Kratos to grab anyway. So if you equip her with devil speed in warp, she'll just warp all around the battlefield the whole time, and Kratos can't even get close enough to grab her. And then whenever she decides to stop playing around and hits her with Megiddo, he's gone. That's kind of how her abilities work. Like, one thing you gotta realize with Shin Megami Tensei, and probably why I don't love the God of War series as much as other people do, because I see how powerful gods can be in games in Shin Megami Tensei. And then I see how dumbed down the gods are in God of War by comparison. There's not really anybody in God of War that can one-shot you. But with all these crazy, awesome abilities you can give your characters on Shin Megami Tensei, there are still some characters that can overpower your abilities or have an ability that goes over yours. It can still potentially one-shot you, even when you're a broken tank that can't be hurt by anything but almighty damage. You only receive a quarter of that. You still could get one-shot by some of these characters on this game because these gods are actually godly powerful, as opposed to these demigods that are just powerful enough in the God of War series. I mean, for one thing, Shin Megami Tensei is known as the game that some people have controversy with, because you can literally get powerful enough to kill Satan or take out Yahweh himself in the game. You can make your characters that powerful. So anybody from those games could probably beat just about anybody from any M-rated game. While they're not the most powerful guys or girls in gaming, they are definitely some of. Like, there are a few characters I can think of that are probably more powerful than Shin Megami Tensei characters. Just a few. But we'll save that for another video. But yeah, long story short, Kratos, everything he does is either physical damage, which she can nullify, elemental damage, which she can nullify, and he does not have any kind of almighty damage. And even if he does, she can like break a quarter. She can break that and take a quarter of that damage, and she has more defense and speed than him. So she has every possible thing she needs. And he only has 300 HP at his max, and she can deal out dang near 5,000 damage. So she can one-shot him fairly easy. Fairly easy. And if you want to make matters worse, if you give them all the abilities like on the games, you also have to give her her demons that she normally summon to fight with, which she could choose to have whoever she wants on her team. And there's some demons whose ability is when he goes to attack her, assuming he even hurt her, the abilities will go and attack the demons instead of her. So there's a lot of... Again, Shin Megami Tensei is strictly a strategy RPG. God of War games are strictly kind of almost button mashers. There's not a lot of strategy involved in it. And again, no one can one-shot you. So those characters are just better equipped for battle. They just are. And if you just can't agree with this and you're denying this and you're saying he still has a way to beat her, let me know in the comments below. Because if there's some kind of way that he can beat her, I will admit it. I heard one person say, well, what if he destroys the comp? Because they use comps to summon these things and get these powers. That's the thing. Her comp would be in her pocket or on her some kind of way. And he would have to get past her defenses to actually break it. So you can't even do that. And no, Kratos does not have pierce, because there's abilities that gods have on his own games that he can't pierce through. And even if he does have pierce, she have ways to stop him from hitting her even then. Because again, devil speed and warp. She's going to teleport all over the place and he can't even catch her. So yeah, until next time, this is A.W. Brawler for the Nintelligent Podcast saying be you, be true, be human. And if you like what you see here, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that bell to get notifications whenever the next video is out. And we'll see you next time. We'll touch you out after Mwah.